Okay, so this is going to be a really lovely, if you're new to chair yoga, this is going to be a really lovely beginner basics kind of session today. So when you're doing a chair yoga class, typically, at least with us here at Functional Bliss, all you need is a chair. And I do like to do my chair yoga on a sticky mat just so that my chair doesn't shift if I'm doing any standing positions or anything like that. So you do want to make sure that you have a solid chair, fairly secure, and preferably no arms, but you can get away with having arms on your chair. You just have to maneuver around them a little bit. And to start our practice, we're going to just kind of get grounded and centered. So you're just going to sit back in your chair, get as comfortable as you can. Let your feet just land on the ground wherever feels best. If it feels comfortable, you'll close your eyes down. Not everybody feels good about closing their eyes down, or it takes away too many of their sensations and they really need to have focus and pay attention. So if closing your eyes down doesn't feel good, just soften your gaze a little bit so you're not having to take in too much information through your eyes. So eyes closed or open, that's totally up to you. But now just give your body a moment to get soft and settle into your seat. Keeping your eyes closed if you can, just start to tune in and notice your physical body. So one of the best things I can say about yoga is it's basically we move our body a little bit and we pay attention while we do it. So that's all we want to do. We just want to tune in, notice our physical body, pay attention to how it's feeling. Notice if you've picked up any tension or any places where you might have gripped up a little tension, and then see where can you let your body soften and relax. Can you let your shoulders get soft? Can you allow your hands to be soft? Can you allow your feet and your toes to be soft? Now, I like to practice my yoga barefooted, but if you're in a cold space or if your feet need that extra support, shoes, socks, whatever makes you feel the most safe and secure in your body is the way to go. Taking one more moment here just to allow your body to settle into your chair. And then we're just going to tune in and notice the solidness of the chair underneath you. So you're just going to feel this chair underneath your hips, the backs of your thighs, and your butt. You're going to notice the solidness of the chair behind your back. And then you're going to maybe notice the freedomness or the spaciousness in front of your body where you're not connected to the chair. And then getting that idea of that solidness of the chair underneath your butt. Now, can you draw a line down the backs of your legs and then notice the solidness of the floor underneath your feet? And then if you're wearing socks or if you're wearing shoes, you might tune in and notice the fabric of your socks, the closed in feeling that the shoes provide, or if you're wearing bare feet, notice the spaciousness or the openness surrounding your feet. And then we're going to keep our awareness down at our feet and just give your toes a little wiggle. Doesn't need to be anything, nothing, no exact movement. Just kind of wiggle your toes around, get a sense of how your feet are feeling this morning. Are your toes moving freely and actively, or do they feel a little stiff and a little cramped? There's no right or wrong, but just notice. And then allow that movement of the feet to come up into the arches. Maybe you crunch up your feet like you're trying to pick something up with the bottoms of your feet. Just kind of move them around, create a little bit of warmth in the feet. And now we're going to take it into just a little bit bigger motion. So we're still leaning back in the chair. And if you can keep your eyes closed, so it doesn't really matter what your feet look like, but now we're going to move the ankles a little bit. So we might pick up the heels, wiggle them around. And then once you've wiggled your toes, you've wiggled your feet, you've wiggled your ankles, let your heels get nice and heavy back down onto the ground. Let your toes soften. Take a nice deep breath in, just offering up a little appreciation for our feet. Great. And now we're going to take some awareness up into our hands. So depending on where your hands have landed on your body, we're going to flip our palms so that the palms are facing open towards the ceiling. And then we're just going to kind of wriggle the fingers around. So just a gentle bit of movement. And then as you gently move your hands and your fingers, notice how your hands feel. Do the bones and muscles feel stiff, or are they feeling warm and fluid? There's no right or wrong, but just notice. How does the skin of your hands feel? Is it feeling moist, supple, or warm or cool, dry? There's no right or wrong, but just kind of tune in and notice. And then once you've wiggled your fingers just enough, flip your palms so they're facing back down. Let them rest gently on your thighs. Let your shoulders soften. Take a nice deep breath in and just let that breath awareness come down into your fingertips. Take one more moment here just to find that soft, solid grounding position with the body. And then before we move away from this place of stillness, take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Lovely. And with that intention set, now we're going to sit up nice and tall. So we're just going to start to lift our back away from the seat. So if you were leaned back, settled in, lift your back up so you're just sitting up nice and tall. Your butt is going to stay solid on the chair. Your feet are going to stay nice and solid on the ground, and your hands are going to rest wherever feels the most comfortable. And then once you feel like you're good, sitting up nice and tall, now we're just going to bring a little movement up into the head and the neck. So as you inhale, you're just going to gently lift your chin upward, just as far as feels good to you. And then as you exhale, you're going to gently tuck your chin down towards your chest. Again, just as far as feels good to you. So range of motion is going to vary between bodies. So you're just going to take the range of motion that's working for you this morning. Inhale as you lift your chin up. Exhale as you tuck your chin down. Notice here if it's a fluid movement or if there's any little jagged edges or catches or little clicky places. There's no right or wrong, but just kind of tune in and notice, how is your head and neck feeling this morning? Take one more nod of the head up and down. And then we'll bring the head to a neutral position, or just to that more upright position. And then we're going to start to turn the head side to side. So we're just going to bring a little bit of varied movement into the head and the neck. Same thing here. You're only going to turn your head as far as feels safe and comfortable to you. So range of motion might vary. Take one more turn of the head side to side, or just even yourself out. And then as you bring your head to center, now we're going to tuck the head like we're dropping our ear towards our shoulder. So we're just going to take that into that nice little side to side rocking motion. Notice the sides of your neck, and then kind of notice as you dip your head over, does the whole shoulder and the side body want to come with? And there's no right or wrong, but just notice. That might mean that there's a little tightness or tension in the side body or in the upper middle back. So we'll see how things are feeling towards the end of our practice. Beautiful. Take one more little dip of the head side to side. And then as you come to one side, and it doesn't matter which, we're just going to roll across the chin. So we're just going to make a half circle. So we're just going to take that bottom half of the smile, taking it from the corner of the lips and then over to the other side. So we're just rolling down across. And again, same thing here. Your range of motion is going to be what's best for your head and your neck this morning. Take one more roll of the head side to side. And then we're going to bring the head back to center. Now we're going to go super duper slow motion here. So we're going to go full circle of the head. So we're going to swing it over to one side. Look up as far as you can. Roll around, but we're going as slow as we possibly can. So we're not trying to yank against the muscles of the neck or the bones of the neck. We're just going to slowly, slowly, slowly roll the head around. Nice, big, complete circle. And then once you come back to that beginning point, we're going to go the other way. Maybe you'll roll the chin down. Super duper slow motion, finding that full range of motion that you've got right now, but you're going as slow as you possibly can. Wonderful. And then once you've come back to that beginning point, bring your head back to a neutral position, and then we're going to move right into the shoulders. So we're just going to let the shoulders lift and squeeze up to the ears, and then let the shoulders soften down. Let the shoulders lift and squeeze, and then let them melt back down. If you like adding the breath, you'll inhale as you lift up and exhale as you let the shoulders soften down. And do that about 2 more times. Inhale, shoulders lift. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, shoulders lift. Exhale, soften down. And now we're going to hug the shoulders in towards each other. So with the shoulders down, we're going to imagine that the shoulders are trying to squish in towards each other. You'll feel your armpit chest maybe kick on to get a little action there, and then draw the shoulders back to a neutral position. Bring the shoulders forward so there's a little bit of a rounding or curving through the chest and the upper body, and then bring the shoulders back. And then let's do that one more time. Bring the shoulders in and squeeze. Round the shoulders back to neutral. And now we're going to hug the shoulders back like we're making little, trying to get those chicken wings or our shoulder blades to just protrude out. So bring the shoulders back like you're puffing your chest up, and then bring it back to neutral. Bring the shoulders back, puff up your chest. Bring it back to neutral. Do that one more time. Bring the shoulders back, puff up your chest. Bring it back to neutral. Nice. And now we're going to slide the hands forward, and we're going to take our typical cat-cow that we generally take. Feet solid on the ground, butt solid in the chair. As we inhale, we lift the chest, lift the chin, a little arch in the back. And then as we exhale, we round the back, round the shoulders, and look towards the belly button. Range of motion varies, so you just take it at the depth that works good for you. Inhale as you lift your heart. Exhale as you round back. Take it nice and slow so we move gently into the spine. Take one more time through here. This is our typical cat and cow that we do pretty much every time we do our chair yoga practice. But now we're going to go a little bit further with it. So find a neutral spine position. So sit up nice and tall. Now we're going to bring the hands out in front of us, and we're going to imagine that we're in a tabletop position if we were on the ground. So hands would be on the ground and knees would be on the ground. And now we're going to take our cat cow just like that. So as we round the back, we're going to push the palms forward, tuck your chin into your chest. And then as you lift up, arch your back, draw the shoulder blades down and lift your chest. Push the palms forward, round the back. Round and lift up, lift the chest, ground the shoulder blades down. Do that one more time. Push the palms forward, round the back. Bring it back up, draw the shoulder blades down, lift the chest, lift your gaze. And then release your hands down. Take a second, shrug out your shoulders. That might have been a lot of work. So give everything a little shimmy shake to get everything loosened up so we didn't get anything stuck in any places we don't like. And now we're going to step our feet just a little bit wider so we have a good base of support. We're going to take a light little twist here. So right hand is going to reach across the left knee, and we're just going to rotate a little bit, or as far as feels good to you. It creates a little rotation in the spinal column, a little bit of constriction in the abdominal wall. So we constrict the organs in the abdomen, and it creates a little bit of a constriction. So we pay further attention to the breath here. So in this twisted position, see if you can take a nice generous inhale, fill your lungs up. And then as you exhale, can you soften just a little bit further into your twist? Take one more cycle of breath, breathing in and breathing out. And then when you're ready, release back to center, pause just for a moment, notice that unwind, and then we'll take that to the other side. So left hand's gonna reach across to the right knee. You rotate as far as feels good to you. It does create a constriction in the abdomen, and you might notice the breath, the awareness of physical action of breath in your body. And that's what we're shooting for. We wanna pay attention to the breath here. So take a nice generous inhale. See if you can soften a little further on your exhale. One more cycle of breath, breathing in and breathing out. And then when you're ready, return back to center, pause at the unwind. So we just want to let that fresh wave of blood come back into your center. And then we're just going to take one cat and cow here just to kind of soothe the spine out. So as you inhale, lift your chest, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin towards your chest. Find a nice neutral spine and sit up nice and tall. Make sure your feet feel solid on the ground. Right, left hand's going to touch onto the chair. Right hand's going to reach up alongside your ear or just as far as feels right to you. So some shoulder variations may occur. So we just want to find an upward lifting sensation on the side of the body, and then we're going to lift and lean. So we're going to lift the ribs up and lean away, and then bring it right back in. So we just want to create a little space in the side body. Lift up and lean, and then take it back in, nice and slow and controlled. Lift up and lean, and lower it back down. Nice. This time we're going to lift up, lean, and just find a little bit of stretching sensation through the side of the body. Check yourself here. So if that arm up and overhead doesn't feel good, you'll just bring the arm towards the armpit or whatever variation feels good to you, so that you're not compromising your shoulder and just struggling the whole time. Everything should feel like a good balance of effort and ease. So some poses are more strengthening and do require a little effort, but we always want to make sure we can breathe comfortably and release from that side. And we're going to take it over the other way. So hands going to find the chair. You lift the upper arm just as far as feels good. Lean out just a little bit, and then bring it back in. Lean out just to the point where you feel that nice gentle stretch in the side of the ribs, and then bring it back in. Beautiful. Lean out just a little bit. Bring it back in, and this time we're going to lean out and just hang out there for just an extra cycle of breath or two, just to find that space, noticing the sides of the ribs. Take a nice generous breath. Same thing on this side. If your hand doesn't feel good up in the air, you can tuck it into the armpit, relax it down, whatever brings you that side bend without compromising the shoulder. When you feel ready, release everything back to center, and then we're just going to shrug the shoulders out. So we're just going to roll them up, around, down, and back. Beautiful. And now we've warmed up the spine just a little bit. So we've moved it in a bunch of different directions. So we're going to get our feet nice and solid on the ground, butt nice and solid on the chair. And we're going to find our seated mountain pose. So mountain pose is one of our classic standard postures. And it's really great for proprioception, paying attention to the body. Where are you connected to the space that you're working in, and connected to the space of your body? And then just finding that nice, strong, solid position. So feet are going to press gently down into the ground. You might feel the tops of your thighs kick on. So we want to feel that nice action of the legs, feeling alive and active. Butt is nice and anchored in the chair. Hands are going to come down at your sides. Palms facing forward or palms facing in, that's going to vary what feels best in your shoulders, but we do want to bring a little energy down into the fingers. So in our mountain pose, the idea is that we anchor down into the earth as we lift up into the sky. So we get that nice feeling of a mountain, super grounded, upward lifting. So feet are anchored, butt is solid on the chair, hands down at your sides. Nice upright lifted spine, but it's not militant. We're not puffing the chest up and everything. So we're going to keep a slight firmness in the belly, nice tall position, shoulders soften down, energy down into the fingers. Gaze forward, and then once you've got this strong mountain pose, just hang out here for a second, staying active the whole time. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath, breathing in and breathing out. Awesome. And then from this mountain pose, we're going to get a little bit fluid with our movement. So as we inhale, we're going to raise the arms up just as high as feels good. If you can bring the hands together up and overhead, prayer hands come together. And we're going to pull those prayer hands through the heart center. And then as we exhale, we let the hands come down at our sides. Inhale, arms up. And then maybe if you like, look up towards your hands as you lift your arms up. Pull the hands through heart center. Hands down at your sides. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, arms up and look up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Come back to that mountain pose. Press firm down into your feet. Legs are active, arms are active, reaching energetically up through the crown of your head. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And now we're going to go a little bit further with this movement. So as you inhale, arms up, look up. And then as we exhale, we're going to sweep the hands down. We're going to find the thighs, and we're going to hinge from our waist to lean the heart forward. So we're going to take it into a little mini forward fold. So we're just going to go about halfway. So hands are going to be supported on the thighs. Heart is going to lean forward, but strong back. So it's nice and active, still lengthening out through the crown of the head. And then we're just going to press gently into the tops of the thighs, lift the heart forward. So we're going to think cobra pose here. So we're going to pull the heart forward. So there's a little bit of an arch in the back, and then release back to that natural spine. Lift yourself up to that tall position. Let your hands come back down at your sides. Inhale, arms up. As we sweep the hands down, they're going to find the tops of the thighs. We're going to bend the elbows, lean the heart forward, but keep that long spine position. Beautiful. Take it into your cobra. So we pull the heart forward, squeeze between the shoulder blades, arch the back. Come back to that neutral spine position, and then sit up nice and tall. Hands come back down at your sides. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swoop the hands down, find the tops of the knees, lean your heart forward. Pull the heart forward, your little cobra pose. Heart comes forward, shoulder blades squeeze, gaze lifts up. Return to that neutral position, sit up nice and tall. Nice. And now we're just going to grab hold of our left leg, pick it up. You're going to let your hands do the heavy lifting. So if holding onto your leg feels like it's a little much, you can use a yoga strap or you can use a hand towel, and you can just scoop your hand towel underneath your thigh, use the tail ends, and let that be your tool to help you lift your leg up. So if you need a little bit of assist, use your hand towel, use a yoga strap, or even a robe tie will do the trick. But we're going to pick that leg up and we're going to draw some generous circles with the thigh. We're going to let the arms do as much of the work here as we can. So the thigh is fairly loose in the hip socket. And then if it feels good to do so, you're going to take those circles and you're going to draw them the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to set that leg down. If you're using your tool, go ahead and release it. And just that leg we were working on, we're just going to take a little in and out. So we're going to let the knee swing in and out just as far as feels good. You can let it drop in, you can let it drop out, let it be as loose as possible. And then just kind of notice, how are your hips feeling? How's the inner thigh and the groin area feeling? Take one more little in and out with that leg, and then set that leg down, and we're going to move on to the other leg. So you might choose to take your tool, wrap it under the thigh, pick the leg up, let your hands do the heavy lifting, draw some circles. You can also hold on to your leg, whatever variation there feels the best to you, so you feel solid and secure, and you can find the most movement that feels beneficial to your body. All right, one more circle around in this direction, then when you're ready, reverse directions and go the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, set that leg down. If you're using a tool, go ahead and release it. And then we're just going to take a few little drops in and out with that knee. So you let it come across the midline of your body, swing it out just as far of a bit of movement as feels right to you. But as you do this little bit of work here, notice, how is your thigh feeling? How is your hip feeling? Inner thigh and groin, you might feel a little sensation there. So just tune in and notice how everything's feeling. Awesome. And then when you're ready, set that foot down. And now we're going to take it into some windshield wipers with the knees. So we're going to scooch our butt forward. You want to still feel like your butt is supported. So arrange yourself in a way that feels good. And then we're just going to let both knees drop side to side. So hold on to your chair if that feels good. Hands free is also fine. You want to make sure that you always feel supported and you're not going to just swing yourself too far in one direction and fly off your chair. Nice. One more little drop of the knees side to side. And then we're going to take one of our more traditional yoga postures. So we're going to go into a warrior two position. I'm going to scooch my butt over in my chair. So I want one butt cheek on and one butt cheek off. And that's the angle that I'm going for. So once I've got my way there, I'm going to step my outer leg out nice and wide and out towards the back. So I'm going to get a nice wide position with the legs. Front leg is a nice bent knee. Hips are angled out. So I'm kind of angling my hips out to the corner of the chair, and my back leg is extended nice and long. So this is our warrior two position. Hips are angled out to the side, front knee is bent, back leg is extended nice and long. Once you've got your way there, we're going to reach the arms out to shoulder height. And here's where we find that energy again. Push down into your feet so your legs feel like they're alive and lit up. Lift that energy up through your torso, out through your fingertips, and then you're going to gaze past your right hand, nice and strong. Strong vision, strong arms, strong legs, and strong torso. So we want to find this strength in this position. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath, breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. And then once you've finished that last cycle of breath, soften your arms down, soften that back leg, swing everything back in, scooch across your chair, maybe take a little wiggle of the knees, shimmy out your shoulders. That can be a lot of energy coming up to the upper body. And then when you're ready, we're going to scooch over to the other side. So you're going to scooch over. So one butt cheek is on, one butt cheek is off, and then we're going to slide that leg back just as far as feels good. That's going to look a little different on each body. The front knee is bent, the back leg is extended as long as it can be. Hips are angled slightly out to the side, and then we extend the arms out to shoulder height. Find that nice strong reach. So we want to imagine there's energy pushing down into the feet so the legs feel alive. That energy lifts up through the side body, out through the fingertips, gazing forward nice and strong, and then hold that strong position, but don't forget to breathe. One more cycle of breath, breathing in and out. And then when you're ready, soften everything up, find your chair, slide that leg in, scoot your way back to middle, give your legs a little shimmy shake, shimmy out your shoulders, let go of all that stuff you may have come across. And now we're gonna take a light little, we're gonna take our sun salutation flow, but we're gonna do a nice light version. So find your mountain pose first, press down into your feet, reach up to the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, we're going to swoop those hands down to the knees. Fold yourself forward, just that halfway fold. So lean your heart forward. Lift yourself on up just a little bit. So we're slightly forward. And now right hand's going to reach over towards the left knee. We're going to get a light rotation, twisting over to the left just a little bit. And then when you're ready, return back to center. Find that arch of your heart, lift your gaze. Find that neutral spine. Lift back up nice and tall. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, swoop the hands down to the knees, hinge from your waist, lean your heart forward. Lighten up just a little bit. Left hand's going to reach over towards the right knee. Find that nice little rotation to the right. Release back to center. Both hands find the knees, swoop the heart forward. So we find that nice little cobra. Release to your neutral spine. Sit up nice and tall. Let your hands come down at your sides. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, swoop your hands down. Find your knees, lean your heart forward. Lift back up just a little bit to create some space. Right hand's going to find the left knee, left hand rotate to the left. Lovely. Come back through center, hands find the knees. Swoop your heart forward. Release to a neutral spine. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, swoop the hands down, lean the heart forward. Lift up just a little bit. Left hand finds the right knee, rotate to the right. Come back to center. Scoop the heart forward, arch the back. Release to neutral spine and sit up nice and tall. Beautiful. Now we're going to toe heel the feet out just a little bit wider to make a little space. And then we're going to pick up the left leg. We're going to pick it up as high as we can, up towards the shoulder, up towards the chest, wherever the spacing works good for you. So we want to create some space where we feel comfortable. We don't feel like we're cramming our organs or cutting off our breath. We're just going to lift it up, get that nice big stretch. Arm is holding on tight, so you might feel a little strength in the arm and the shoulder. Take one more moment to find this nice big stretch. And then when you're ready, release that leg down. And we're going to take it to the other side. So we're just going to pick up the back of the leg, lift it up as high as feels good. That is going to look different on every body. So you just find the position that feels the most comfortable to you. Beautiful. Take one more breath. And then release that leg back down. And now we're going to walk the feet even wider. So we're going to find a really nice wide position so that you feel a little bit of a stretch, maybe in the inner thigh or the groin. And then once you feel like you're there, we're just going to place the hands gently right to the insides of the knees and a light press outward. So we want to feel that sensation of pressing outward. But then once you found that pressing outward, you're going to gently press your knees in. So we're going to activate those inner thigh muscles. So hands are going to push out, knees are going to push in. We're going to get those inner thigh muscles to kick on just a little bit and then hold it there for one cycle of breath. Beautiful. And then relax that position, toe heel your feet in. So we're walking toes in, walking the heels in, walking the toes in, walking the heels. And then once you found your way there, we're just going to bring a little light tapping down into the feet. So we're going to tap down into the toes, the balls of the feet, the heels, and we're just going to work around the bottoms of the feet, just tapping around. If you've got neighbors downstairs, make a whole bunch of noise, let them know that you're home. And then once you feel like you've kind of stimulated the bottoms of the feet, and as you were doing that work, you may have actually brought a little bit of heat or work up into the thighs. Notice how everything's feeling, and then let your feet settle down. Sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Notice how your body feels. And now we're going to come back to that movement of the spine before we come back to our seated Shavasana. So Shavasana being our final pose, a corpse pose, or just our that final moment where we bring our mind and our body together. So before we get there, we're just going to touch base with the spine again. So left hand's going to touch down to the chair. Right hand's going to reach up just as far as feels good. Find that nice big side bend. Notice the side of your body. Notice how you feel. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Release and take that over to the other side. Hand's going to touch down. Other hand's going to reach up. Lean out just as far as feels good. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Awesome. Release nice and slow and control. Take it right into a seated twist. Right hand's going to find the left knee. Rotate just as far as feels good, just to the point where you feel that little bit of constriction in the abdomen, a little constriction in the side of the ribs, and then take a generous breath. Fill your lungs up. And then when you're ready, release, take your twist over to the other side. Take your time. Once you get into the position that feels good to you, take a generous inhale, fill your lungs up. And exhale nice and slow. Awesome. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Hands are going to find the knees. We're going to inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin, arch the back. That's our cow position. And then as you exhale, you're going to round the back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin into your chest. And that's our cat position, or you think Halloween cat with that nice rounded back. Nice. And then when you're ready, come back to more upright lifted spine. Shoulders are going to drop down. We're going to drop the left ear over to the left shoulder. Just let the ear get nice and heavy to the shoulder. Take a nice gentle breath in. Slow breath out. Lift your head through center. Take it over to the other side. Right ear to right shoulder. Take one cycle of breath here. Nice. And then we're going to come back to that half smile, or the bottom half of a circle. So we're just going to roll the chin gently across the chest. One more roll of the head side to side. And then as your head comes back to the center or to the chin point, bring it up to a neutral position. And we're going to take 3 big shrugs of the shoulders, circling around, down and back. Lovely. And then when you're ready to start to walk your butt back in your seat, so you're going to just start to find your way back to that comfortable seated position. Feet nice and solid on the ground, back resting comfortably. And just for future references, if you're very short and your feet find a trouble finding the floor in a chair, you have an option to place yoga blocks or a bed pillow underneath your feet to bring the floor up to meet you. So if there's any little subtle variations that your body needs a little help with, you always feel free to ask me and I'll help you with any props that you think might be beneficial. So sit back, relax, close your eyes down, or just soften your gaze, whichever is more comfortable for you. Start by just working out the little wiggles of the body. So we want to let our body be as soft and comfortable as possible in the chair. And then start to allow your breath to return to a natural rhythm, preferable that we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And as we take our Shavasana, the main goal is to give a little bit of time for the mind and the body to kind of come together and incorporate all the work that we've just done. So the body has done all this active work, and now we're going to let the mind catch up, let the body be still. Mind is quiet, but not with an efforted quietness. So if you find that there's thoughts running through your head, just allow them to pass in and out without any sort of judgment. The beauty of a yoga practice from home is you always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel ready to reawaken, allow your awareness to come back to your physical body. Maybe give your butt a little wiggle in your chair, give your shoulders a little wiggle in your seat. Notice the solidness of the chair beneath you. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your wrists, move your ankles. Just invite some nice, gentle movement back into your limbs. Maybe even invite a deeper breath back in. And then still with your back leaning back against the chair, we're just going to step the heels slightly forward with a slightly wide position of the legs, and then stretch your arms up and overhead like just a big good morning stretch. Reach your arms up, let everything reach and lengthen. Maybe even lift your heels if that feels supported and secure. And then when you feel ready, release everything back down. Sit up nice and tall, walk your butt forward just a little bit. And then we're just going to bring our awareness back down to our feet. So we're going to just kind of wiggle the toes just a little bit. Notice how your toes feel. Scrunch up your feet just a little bit. Notice how the bottoms of your feet feel. Awesome. And then lift your heels and just wiggle your heels a little bit. So invite just some little gentle movement back into the feet, and then let the feet soften down onto the ground. Press gently down into the feet. Nice tall position with the spine, shoulders soften down. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Eyes closed or open, that's totally up to you. Take a nice gentle breath in. And as you exhale, just let your shoulders soften a little bit. Take another inhale, breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. Take another generous inhale, and this time as you inhale, let your shoulders kind of lift up and scrunch just a little bit, offer up a little tension in the upper body, and then as you exhale, let your shoulders soften, relax your jaw, and think about letting go of anything you're holding on to that won't serve you through the rest of your day. When you feel ready, gently lift up to the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Wednesday.